Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to Toe Tags Recipients, and today we're going to be talking about the new releases from Katatonia, Silver Bullet, and Atrocity. So, I don't know about you, but I would say it's a pretty good day for metal today, and I'm going to start by talking about Skyboy to Stars by Catatonia. Now, I've heard of this band. I want to say I maybe tried them once. When I was looking at their discography, I saw one, I think it was the 2012 album, and that album artwork was familiar. So maybe I checked it out some time ago. I'm not quite sure if I remember, but I didn't really know what to expect, and I liked what I heard quite a bit. It doesn't really waste any time getting going. Like, you hit play and bam, okay, there's stuff going on. This album, I feel like it's just very riff-centered. I feel like the enjoyment you're going to get out of this is out of the riffs, and I feel like there's a lot of push and pull from harder and softer stuff, and I like that quite a bit. There's something in the first track, there's a deceptive rhythm going on, like it's 6/8, but it hits a shot in a way that kind of makes it feel like it's not. Like, it really kind of throws you off a little bit. I thought that was cool. But overall, it's like the main note I was writing was like, oh, good groove. I'm digging these grooves. These are nice grooves. I like the vibe that's going on here. Kind of reminds me of some of the stuff we've been hearing from Sleep Token as of late, like the softer kind of stuff, and I like that quite a bit. And there was a point where I kind of thought I was getting like a little bit tired of what the album was giving me, and then the groove of a song called Author, which is about halfway through, throws down, and I'm just like, okay, never mind, there's still some spice in here. And overall, just like, I think it's just riff heavy and groove heavy, and that's where you really get the vibes from the album. There's no harsh vocals. Could it have used some? Maybe, but I didn't really have that much of an issue with it.
Yeah, does this band even have harsh vocals? I don't know, because I'm not really that familiar with Catatonia either. I know they've been around for a while. I've seen their name before. I've seen their stuff. They're not anything new as far as knowing them, but I just don't know their stuff, their material. So I listened to it as well, obviously, and everything TV Fish said is right, but for me it didn't have the same effect. This album is very progressive. So my problem with it is just right out the gate. It's very mellow. Okay, it does have the grooves. It has good riffs and all that stuff, but it reaches this mellow kind of wave, and it rides it the entire time. For me, there's not enough roller coaster. There's not enough ups and downs. There's not enough variation in the presentation. Mind you, these aren't entirely focused listens. I could have missed stuff that was up and down, maybe, you never know. But overall, I was getting Opeth vibes, Tool vibes, Mastodon vibes, three very progressive bands, but all three of those bands have the roller coaster elements, where some of the stuff they do is really crunchy and heavy, and some stuff is very melodic and mellow.
I mean, for reference, older Opeth.
Older Opeth, yeah, but you know what I mean. So, my biggest problem, other than it riding this mellow wave, is no songs really stood out to me at all, and that to me is a big red flag, because that's rare. Most times when I listen to albums, there's at least something I can pick out and go, okay, this is the song that stands out, or that's the part of what song that I can comment on here. But in all honesty, it probably just requires a more focused listen for me to appreciate it. But my honest opinion on a first listen is that I was not feeling this album at all.
Alright, fair enough. Atrocity's album, Occult 3. I don't think I really know this band at all.
Never heard of
them. I feel like I may have seen the name somewhere, not quite sure, but I didn't know what to expect. But in the first track, has a really good build. It's a long build. It's like 2 minutes, but that's okay because it's a good one. And honestly, like, a lot of death metal bands just kind of sound like just straightforward, that's kind of it, right? And the issue I find with these kinds of bands is that they lack character. This band has that character. I find it's like, it is, for all, I guess, simplest terms, straight up death metal. That's the overarching kind of genre here. However, there's cool stuff with some symphonic elements. There's a few features on this album. The main harsh vocal, I don't know about you, reminded me of Sepultura. Kind of got that modern Sepultura kind of vocal.
I'd have to listen to it again. I didn't get that, but I'd have to listen again.
That's just what I heard out of it. And I like that quite a bit. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. These riffs are good. These songs are good. Bleeding for Blasphemy I liked. Priest of Plague, nasty. Malicious Succubus has this cool choir in it, and that adds even more character like I was talking about. I wasn't really expecting to like this album as much as I did. It was really cool.
Yeah, same with me. Like, whenever we're checking out a band that we've never heard of before, which you're going to see a lot more on this channel, by the way, these unknown, kind of underground bands, I'm always expecting something run-of-the-mill or something generic, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with this album because it has a lot of content packed into it, and it really has a good variety of sound. So when I started listening to it, to me it sounded like if Vader was covering Cradle of Filth songs. That's kind of the vibe I got. It's got the symphonic element, black metal-y kind of stuff, but overall death metal. But it also heard like some Jim Root style riffing going on, like some Slipknot-esque riffs. Like if you pictured some of Slipknot's heavier songs and took the riffs from them and put them in this with a little bit of Cradle of Filth vibes, it's just a pretty good concoction of sounds. You mentioned Malicious Succubus, which is track number 6. It features Alina Cirala, who I don't know, and Zoe Marie from Cradle of Filth, also doing a guest vocal. Yeah, exactly. Just the song has so much more dynamics because it has these features on it, which I think is a huge plus, because sometimes you hear features on a song or an album and they just kind of come and go. They don't really add a lot of variety or difference to the album.
They just feel like they're kind of there. They don't do much.
Exactly. This album has 2 songs with features, and I feel like both those songs stand out very well compared to the other songs, which is a huge plus for me. The other song that has a feature, I didn't write the name down. I can't remember what it is, but it actually features a Mystic or Mystique. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but she is. I've seen her on TikTok. She might be on Instagram, probably is, whatever. But she collabs with mostly deathcore or death metal bands, and she adds the synth on top of their music. I know she's collabed with Brand of Sacrifice. I think she's done some stuff with Lorna Shore. But a lot of the orchestral synthesized stuff that you hear in these songs, she's the one that's collabing with these bands and adding it in there. She's on this track and she makes it sound amazing. So the 3 tracks I'm going to talk about that, well, I'm just going to mention them, that stood out to me was number 1, Desecration of God, Malicious Succubus, which I talked about, and then the track right after Malicious Succubus, which is called Lycanthropia. Just great energy, great flow. I thought this album was actually pretty damn good.
All right, nice. So Shadowfall by Silver Bullet. I've never heard of this band before, at all whatsoever. Like never. It was my first time checking out this band, and one thing I kind of liked about it, and this is a weird comparison, that it's like if you take the softer parts of Symphony X and made that a band. That's kind of what I was thinking here. And I was thinking at first, like, okay, this is a pretty straightforward kind of like lighter power metal. And then Soul Reaver came on. I'm like, oh, okay, it's a lot more intense now, you know? Overall, really love this vocal performance. Like, it's like what I wish Beast in Black became. Like, Beast in Black had their first album and it was amazing. And then after that, they kind of just like started going downhill. I wish they kind of did what this band does, you know? I wish this is the direction that they went.
I agree with the instrumentals. Vocally, though, Beast in Black does something that this band doesn't do, and those are the falsetto highs. This band sounds a lot like Beast in Black, but without those falsettos. So I wouldn't want Beast in Black to do that. But yeah, I mean, musically, instrumentally, this is what Beast in Black should have done on their last album, but with their own style of vocals.
Yeah. Dusk at Dawn also great solo section. The guitars were really good on this album as well. Like the vocals and guitars are the highlights for me.
Yeah. I have Dusk of Dawn as one of my highlight songs as well because of the solo. The song starts off slow, but it picks up and gets going really good, some good energy. Night Hunter, track number 7, really reminded me of something, but I couldn't put my finger on it, and it was bugging me. I'll probably go back and listen to it again at some point and see if I can nail it, what it was reminding me of. Tracks 3 and 4, The Ones to Fall and Creature of the Night, both of those were highlight tracks for me as well. So Beast in Black, yeah, we said that already. It's also reminded me of Iron Maiden. It reminded me a lot of Dio. you get a lot of those power metal or new wave British heavy metal kind of sounds here, but it doesn't sound old. It doesn't sound like it's from the 80s or anything like that. It sounds still modern.
Just hear some of their influence. I was thinking Priest as well.
Yeah.
Kind of was thinking about that when I listened.
I'm also
to the
not sure if
song.
you mentioned the album's called Shadowfall. I can't remember if you mentioned it or not.
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I'm mentioning it again. It's called Shadowfall. But I thought it was a pretty solid album for a band we've never heard of before. And like I said, when we're listening to bands like this, when you're checking out these obscure, unknown bands, I'm expecting mediocrity or run-of-the-mill generic stuff. And I felt like I got something pleasant with both the albums we checked out today, and even Catatonia, which is a more well-known band.
I mean, there's so many gems out there, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, there's a lot that comes out, and we just pick a couple random ones to decide what we're gonna cover, and I feel like we're picking some good ones lately.
Yeah, I don't know. We got the hot hand for that. So, as for what to review, I feel like it might be perhaps a good idea to let you guys decide.
I agree, because, I mean, TV Fish really, really liked Catatonia, but I really didn't like it. I really liked Atrocity, and even though you liked it too, but we're kind of not sure which one to go with.
Catatonia is also the more well-known band, right?
So we're probably pulling more views, but we want you guys to decide. So after this video, we're going to put up a poll, and you guys got to go and vote on which album. And make sure you check them both out first, so you can have a educated guess or educated vote on the poll, and let us know which one you want us to review for the week.
Yep, the poll's going to be up for, let's say, about 8 hours or so after this video releases.
Yeah.
And then we will make a post letting you guys know which album we are going to review this week, and it is up to you guys, so go and vote. Anyway, guys, that's all we got for you today. Remember to like this video if you like it. Tell us in the comments below, what do you think of the albums that released today? We'd love to hear what you guys have to say, and subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. I'm TV Fish.
I'm by myself.
And keep the horns up.